Beep, 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 beep. I'm mulling. It's one of those mulling videos. I haven't got anything in particular to say. I'm just having a mull, as one does when you're thinking about the current situation that we find ourselves in, and some of the things that I've seen over the last few days. Not least of all, is an incredible speech that you need to hunt out by Constantine Kissing. Guy goes from strength to strength. You know, trigonometry boys, they go from strength to strength. Go and watch it. Where he talks about where we are and where we need to be. It's just extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary. So I would suggest you go and watch it. He's a new dad. So he's got, a child, which he describes beautifully, who rides around on his hip and points at various things. Go there. He rides like it's using him like a horse. But he gives a very impassioned speech. A speech driven by the love of his child, I suspect. But you can tell me whether you think that's what he's doing. I think it's exactly what he's doing. But you can tell me. I thought it was a wonderful speech. That was it. Now, what was the other thing that came up? Oh, I'm so sick of seeing some of it. Right, women. I'm talking now to women, right, okay? Hello, women. We love you. What we don't love about you is this gender pay gap nonsense. I'm sick of hearing about it. Absolutely. It's rubbish, and it's doing nothing for anybody. You think it's helping the person on the Asda checkout? No, it's not. It's my mate that works for a union that's helping the woman on the Asda checkout, right? That's who's helping them. Why is it always the C-suite? Right? So, dribbling on about, somebody's paid 150,000, the other person's only paid 130 because one's male and one's female. Oh, get in the bin. Right? So, but however, in my angry rant about this, when I'm walking around chatting to myself about what I'm going to talk about, something suddenly occurred to me, and I thought I'd share it with you. First off, the gender pay gap's nonsense. Forget it. It's just a waste of time. It only helps certain people. We need to help more people. So I think we need to look at a different type of pay gap. All right, and the easiest way to do that is to look at the top of the tree and the bottom of the tree. So, Mr. Corporate Jones, the big firm, 100,000 people in it. How much you paying your MD? Yeah. How much you paying your cleaner? That's the two, and it's the different percentage between that we need to look at. That's the one you want to close because it helps everybody. That's just me, right? Nevertheless, this gender wibblings, right? Okay, gender sex pay gap. It's actually a motherhood gap, isn't it? If we're going to be honest. Was it Camille Paglia said? Feminism never dealt with motherhood. She said it quickly too. If you've ever heard her speak, you know what I'm talking about. But I wanted to talk to women. Men can listen too, but generally I want to talk to women about this because I think it's an interesting thing and I'd like to get some conversations going around it. There is no getting away from the Nordic paradox, right? You must know that by now. And if you haven't looked it up, look it up, right? The more you gerrymander societal equality, the less women go into STEM. Right, that's a thing. Right, it's been done a dozen times. You can't get past it. It ain't get roundable. It is a thing, right? So when you leave people alone, they make choices that will often go into the stereotypical idea of what a man would do and what a woman would do. It doesn't mean to say there aren't outliers. Of course there are. It doesn't mean to say we can't encourage people to go into engineering and men to go into nursing, right? But we still end up with one fundamental problem, no matter which way you cut it, right? And that fundamental problem is, for women, because their choices tend to be different from men, scaling. Let's talk about scaling, right? Scaling is really important. Scaling is what we all want. I've never been able to scale anything because I'm me. It's been my biggest curse and my biggest gift, right? Because I try to build a training company, people go, no, we want you. Oh, right, okay. I gave up in the end. I had a couple of consultants, but I gave up. No, we don't want them, we want you. So you end up becoming your own product, you're knackered, and that was what happened to me. Right, so let's talk about scaling. If Mrs. Smith invents a widget, right, that can detect wokery, so you can avoid the woke, right? That would scale, right? So you're wearing it. It's in my game, Baldur's Gate. I've got a piece of kit that detects Yankee warriors. I want the same thing, but for the woke, so that every time you get anywhere near somebody who woke, the little thing goes, and you go, oh, hello, woke. There's a wokester. Where is he? And then you just get it out, and you look on the, oh, it's her. Oh, it's him. And just wander the other way, right? So if you invented that, that would scale. So if you sell it for a tenner, making it for a fiver, and you sold 1 million, hey, we're in the money. You can't do that with nursing. There's only so many people you can look after. You can't do that with caring. You can't do that with the professions that traditionally women are seen to go into, right? So I was quite intrigued by this idea of scaling. Now, some women will become accountants, some will become lawyers. Of course. Nobody's saying anybody shouldn't do anything. I'm certainly not saying that. Do what you bloody well want. Do what you love. Because if you do what you love, you'll never work another day in your life. musings and mullings here today, ladies and gentlemen, the court of the EDI Jester. So here's my thought. YouTube. Let's talk about YouTube, right? I was on there the other day, and I've got my Jesterites. They're watching now. Jesterites, who are the people that have paid £3 a month to get the videos up front for a few hours. And I've been having a problem with scheduling. I was like, oh God, this is really annoying. Right? Really, I can't schedule it. So I dropped YouTube feedback saying I can't do this and I need to be able to do it on it. I got up this morning and they've done it. They've changed it. Right, now I do not know whether that was just me or not. But it seems remarkably extraordinary that within 3 days of me writing that, they've come back and done it. I can now do what I need to do. They've changed their systems to be able to do it. Working for YouTube is a pleasure, right? They do demonetize. You get the odd person who goes, oh, I don't like that. And the algorithm gets it wrong. But working for them is a pleasure. They are so helpful. And I got thinking about this thing about women and YouTube, right? I don't think women are exploiting YouTube enough. I genuinely don't, right? And I particularly mean this with older women. Younger women, career, go and get it, right? Go do what you want to do. Older women, 50s, probably, I might retire, want to do X, Y, Z, but come with a wealth of damn knowledge. A wealth of knowledge, right? And if you want something to scale that is based purely around what you as an individual are capable of doing, teaching or showing, then YouTube is your answer. It is genuinely your answer. So let's say I've got a mate of mine, right? She keeps sheep. She likes sheep, right? I have to go and see him every time I go and see her. Do you want to see the sheep? I'd rather not. No, come and see the sheep. Oh, stop. You're always pushing sheep on me. Here, have a sheep. No, one came in the house. I was there having dinner and a sheep wandered in. It's got cats, dogs. You know, that kind of thing. It's all a bit all creatures great and small on this gorgeous, gorgeous piece of land with a wonderful old cottage that's, I don't know, 14th century or something. It's just extraordinary. It's the most beautiful place with the most phenomenal pond and, well, I'm really rattling on now, aren't I? But she keeps sheep, right? And she has a sheep Twitter. I'm not kidding. I am not pulling the wool over your eyes. I'm being honest with you. But I won't ram sheep down your throat. Right? She's got over 1,000 followers. Some of them very peculiar indeed, but over 1,000 followers. Just because she puts photographs of sheep up on Twitter. But that's the small holding she has is her life. And she should build on that. She should tell the story of her small holding, not least of all because it enables her to, I want to do X today and I'm going to tell people about it, I'm going to do X today. She should build on that. You get up to 10, 15, 20,000 followers and you've got a residual income. A residual income. Right? It scales. Now you might be, crochet might be your thing, or maybe golf, right? Or it might be that you enjoy electronics, or it might be that you taught history, or that you taught the law, or that you taught whatever. Get out there. Get out there and start putting it together. Get out there and start saying to people, right, this is my expertise. It's available to you if you want it. I run a bigger course on it, whatever it may be. Get out there and start talking about what you know. Get it into small bite-sized chunks of 10 or 12 minutes and start helping educate people on what it is that you have brought to the world. That's a community of practice. That's the way warrior teachers work. And there's no reason why you can't do it. Men could do it too. But I think that the domain of women, the idea of the women who are so good at organising, who are so good at communication, who are so good at being in ways that men aren't, right? In fact, a friend of mine said, she was out with her, her dad doesn't say anything about this nonsense, the gender and all the crap, except when he does, and he'll do it over his paper. Yeah, that needs to stop, and the paper goes back up. It's the way some men are, particularly older men. We tend to pull away and go, I can't be arsed with the world, right? Whereas women, great at connecting. Look at what's going on now. Look at the GC movement, right? How you've got women from the left and the right have come together to stop a problem. They have an ability to organise like you wouldn't believe, and I genuinely think that the talent that must exist in these older women needs to be exploited and told to the young. And a great way that you can do it is by grow a pair. I'm going to say it, grow a pair, and start a YouTube channel and say, right, I'm going to discuss X today. Discuss it for 15 minutes, do 2 or 3 a week, and you'll be amazed before long. You'll get to the point where you've got people watching you. And once you do, you then monetize and you've got a YouTube channel that's bringing you residual income. And it doesn't matter how old you are. Get on and talk about that which makes you passionate. Because people crave it. They crave it like they crave food. Brain food. Interaction with others. Same goes for podcasts. So you turn it into YouTube, you turn it into a podcast. Before you know it, you could well have a small residual income. It's never going to make you rich, is it? Unless you really do hit it. But if you can get 10,000 followers, you're paying most of your bills, I'll tell you now. And there's all this knowledge is hidden in these wonderful women that have lived through the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and here we are now. I'm not saying that it isn't there in the men. It is. It is. But the women offer an insight that the men don't. And the men will offer an insight that the women don't. That's enough mulling in it for one day. I've had enough mulling. I want to go do something else. I'm not mulling any longer. Go and be a word teacher. Join, become a Just Right. Like and share this if you think it's okay. Anyway, what do you think about my mulling? Am I mad? I'll see you later. Bye.